Atlantic.
Okay, channels.
And I looked out at a 500-foot steamship from 1925. Secretly a ghost ship. Passed 6 inches off our beam. I waved at the ghosts, and I kept telling the story to annoy Breton.
So once we got to Florida, we started hearing on the VHF that there was a bunch of random crap floating everywhere.
I think my favorite one was the 40-foot piece of concrete floating in the middle of the channel.
And we heard about that one for days. Like, why didn't they clean it up right away?
Because how do you tow something?
Well, I mean, you just hook ropes onto it and pull it off to the side. It had to be 4 days. It would be a large hazard 42-foot piece of concrete. It's like, do your job. Clean it up.
Securite. Yeah. You know, this is the U.S. Coast Guard. There's a ship, like a 30-foot sailboat, aimlessly wandering in front of a bridge.
It's like, well, maybe you could secure the sailboat.
Transit area is urged to exercise caution as the vessel may move due to weather conditions.
So it became a form of entertainment to listen to securite announcements. And once we hit Florida, it was non-stop until we got to maybe
First it was
Miami.
Jacksonville, and then it was Miami, and then it was Key West.
And maybe hazard navigation, break the Coast Guard Jacksonville out.
Okay.
Came a long way from all the way up there. All the way down to there.
It wouldn't be a Rite of Passage voyage if we weren't getting towed every couple of days. So, of course, we were driving along, and Michael's at the helm, I'm down below. I'm cooking dinner, doing something, and it starts smelling like burning tires, and it gets a little bit smoky in there, and I mean, we're kind of used to the boat being smoky because for a while we had to deal with that, and, you know.
But so, this is a different kind of
It was a new kind of smoke, a kind of smoke that really worried me. And so I open up the engine cover, and it just billows out, and I was like, oh crap, so I shut it, and I thought it was a belt or something, and then I peek over at the voltmeter on the battery indicator, and it's going 16, 16.8, 16.9, and so I yelled at Michael to shut the motor off real quick, and we had a bad alternator. So we got towed to that place outside Daytona. There's no alternator on our motor anymore because, you know, if things went right, it wouldn't be adventure and it wouldn't be sailing, right?
That'd be easy, carefree and fun.
And so we get to Daytona, and I'm a little bit impatient, but we're also running out of money. And so that combination kind of sparked a little controversy between me and the person who was bringing us an alternator. On the one hand, they were going to deliver an alternator to the bar that we rode into, which is super nice of them. So I was like, all right, I'll pay a little bit more money than the alternator is worth for that, because I respect their time.
Turned out to be a lot more money.
Yeah, it was an alternator that should have cost, what, 120, 150 bucks?
If that.
And I get the bill, and it's 320. And so I argue with the guy for a while, and finally I just got to the point where I was like, you know what, screw it, I'll just pay for it. And he was gonna...
Foggy.
Fucking morons.
Yeah, morons.
You have no future. You can be underwater in 50 years.
After we got the alternator, had a couple beers at that bar, it started getting really, really foggy. And we didn't have a motor for our dinghy still because the carburetor was clogged up and needed cleaned.
Yeah.
So we rode out in this channel and it was so foggy we thought we were going to get hit.
So this is my main bitch here, rowing for me. Luckily, we were probably the only ones dumb enough to be in that thick of fog. So we were safe in that sense because nobody else was crazy enough. So on our sinking dinghy.
Our dinghy was sinking because I'm an idiot, and a couple nights before when you swam and got the dinghy, I rode into shore
to get oil and
gas, and I drug it across a bunch of oysters. Is that what they were?
Some
clams.
Kind of
I mean,
old broken shells
on in the mud.
The same stuff that I sliced my feet open on.
Yeah.
Apparently, it went through dinghy rubber, which
a lot of
is
times
a testament
too.
to how tough my feet were.
It's only sinking slowly.
He's got the world's sexiest plumber's crack. And I'm wet and cold.
And so all day long we were pulling the dinghy and it kept filling with water, and so we were dragging an anchor. And so this is the point where we started putting the dinghy on deck because I needed to fix it, which I used shoe glue, which that worked pretty awesome, by the way. So if anybody's looking for a quick fix on their dinghy, shoe glue. All day long it was looking as though it was going to rain, but it never did. I was making jokes that it looks like it's going to rain, but it's not going to.
It's been looking like it's going to rain, but it won't.
And all of a sudden, I see what I can only describe as a tsunami in the sky, upside down tsunami coming towards me. And I start freaking out because I don't have any rain gear on. You know, it's not that warm.
And I
start yelling at him, and I'm like, you know, hurry the hell up! Like, let's go! Grab my rain gear. And he's like, I'm sleeping. I'm crawling out of bed. What do you want? And so I progressively got more and more frantic, and he grabs my you know, foul weather gear and throws it at me.
Well, from what I remember, you were like, Brenton, I need my rain gear. Brenton, I need my rain gear. And apparently I didn't hear those ones.
Yeah.
Because you said you told me that, and all I hear is, Brenton!
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
It had to progressively get louder and more
I was
intense.
sleeping in the front of the boat.
Well, yeah. And
so by the time I actually wake up, you're like, Brenton, bring me my rain gear! I'm like, jeez, dude, chill out.
He throws it at me and I put it on and boom! It was massive.
It was awesome.
I said, it was a
But it only hit for like 10 minutes.
Oh yeah,
that was gone.
Well, that was the embarrassing thing is, you know, I freak out and I get, of course, dumped on, and then it goes away, and I look like you know, an ass.
If it weren't for these goddamn bridges, I'd be having a good day.
We woke up, beautiful, beautiful sunrise, super flat waters, and then the dolphins joined us. It was probably the most dolphins we've had the entire trip.
It was the first time where they stuck with us, and we even were motoring, and they stuck around for 20.
Yeah, they were there for a long time.
Like 7 foot.
I don't know, they're huge though.
Probably 200, 300 pounds.
Normally they would come up and breach a couple times and then get bored of us or get scared, but this time they just stayed with us.
Yeah, and we had at least one. It looked like a family. A large male, a smaller female, and
oh yeah, there's the baby
calf.
Yeah,
and that was really beautiful.
So we put our flashlight out, and rather than just our spotlight, and rather than just putting it on a bright beam all night and hitting the mast or something, we're like, well, we'll just make it flash
because it has a more noticeable, right? Like it's safer.
And so the spotlight would flash, bump, 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 bump.
And I had even had this thought. I'm not kidding. I had this thought a couple weeks before this. I'm like, I think that might be SOS. But I'm like, no. Nobody cares, for one, and nobody knows Morse code.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a damn.
Yeah.
And I turned that light on that night on
probably
strobe.
Around 6:30, 7 o'clock. So pretty early.
I'm awake because I don't know why. I had so much trouble sleeping on most of this trip, but I'm awake, and all of a sudden I hear, God,
is anybody on the boat?
Yeah, like yelling.
Hello, is anybody on the boat?
Like 20 feet away from the boat,
yeah.
Which I didn't hear these people come up. So I'm like, what in the hell? I thought we were getting boarded by, you know, some kind of redneck pirates. And I heard it the first time, didn't respond. Heard it the second time.
It's kind of like when housekeeping comes to your door and you're like, oh, they'll go away.
Yeah, Brenton responded the second time, like, what the hell?
I was like, yeah, we're sleeping.
Yeah, and I see the lights then, and I'm like, okay, this must be official.
Yeah.
And I stick my head out first, and they're like, what's the nature of your emergency? And I'm like,
what emergency?
I can't sleep? I didn't say that, but that's what I was thinking. Like, what the hell? And they're like, you're flashing SOS.
And we're like, oh.
And I'm like, I am so sorry, sir. I did not know. I'm a very bad sailor. I'm sorry.
We're new to this.
Am I in trouble?
They got on the radio and put out one of those securities,
yeah.
And it was about us this time because we were the vessel in distress.
Yeah.
And so the thing that used to annoy us about listening to it all day long and hearing the same thing over and over again, if we would have had our VHF on, we would have heard
That's
that
right.
exactly where we were at. There was a vessel in distress, and we were the vessel in distress because we were idiots and put out that light. What you listening to?
You guys gonna let it go?
Change of plans. About 2 minutes into going down the Okeechobee Waterway, I realized it was stupid to leave the van there. So we're heading south again, and yeah, going to the bridge right now. Pretty awesome. We're going to the vendors. Hey, bridge operator. Bridge stuff. So good at bridge stuff.
Fucking hate bridge stuff.
Around, I think, West Palm Beach, maybe. Fort Pierce. The bridge is just, there's so many of them, and it's such a pain in the ass. I'm passing you right now. There you are over there. Hurry up. We gotta go south. Get that anchor up. We'd stop, but, you know, we gotta keep going so we can get to our marina and supply tomorrow and take full advantage. We're gonna spend 24 hours at that marina because they're expensive.
It's my favorite thing in the entire world.
Yeah.
Next to forced edibles.
This is a weird part of the ICW. There's apartments everywhere, and then sometimes it's mansions, and sometimes it's big yachts. There's really no place to anchor, so it looks like we'll be driving in the dark tonight because you can't anchor, I think, 100 yards. I'm pretty sure that's what it is within somebody's house. I don't blame them, but yeah, there's just nowhere to anchor here. What I really want to know while I'm sailing through these places where I just see mansion after mansion is, and I mean it's been this way for a long time now, where the hell do these people get all their money? Like, I worked my ass off, and I can't even imagine living in something like this. So, I don't get it. I don't get it. Maybe they're really in debt. That's probably what it is. They're probably just really, really in debt. What do you think of all these houses?
I think we're in the worst slum in the history of shitholes.
Michael loves South Florida.
At this point, Michael was getting pretty irritated by all the bridges and maybe a little bit upset at the affluence. I don't know why you were getting so upset. I think Michael's getting a little bit irritated. The last powerboat that drove by us a little bit too fast. He screamed out them, "Well, just allow me to get fucked."
And so the combination of just seeing the sheer excess and the waste and the stupidity, I lost my shit. I couldn't take it anymore. And I wouldn't see any of the people who own these homes because they're off somewhere else in the world.
The ICW in South Florida is the land of drawbridges, and if Michael has his way, he'll blow them all up.
Said y'all missed me losing my shit last night at these stupid bridges.
Don't do it. You gotta do it. You gotta come back. Take them all out. Things started looking up.
Yeah, and
That's the Fort Lauderdale thing. Oh god.
And then Allie was gonna get on the boat.
Fort Lauderdale. Scummy little dogs.
Well, we made it, and we're at a bar. Primarily, we're here for the
Where did
food.
we make it?
We made it to Fort Lauderdale, so I suppose that's not actually making it or anything.
Yeah, no.
But Allie's gonna be here in 30 minutes, and we're gonna run errands and drink beer and look at the beach. So,
Mostly drink beer. Feel pretty land sick.
I'm pretty land sick too.